Welcome back, everyone, to The Deep Dive. You know, sometimes the best adventures, well, they aren't found under a perfectly sunny sky. Today, we're diving into Ambras Castle. It's just minutes from Innsbruck, and honestly, it's a place that really shines, even if it's gray and rainy outside. It's this fascinating blend of, imperial grandeur and these wonderfully unique curiosities. So our mission today, to kind of unpack not just what's inside, but why it's so significant, and what surprising bits of knowledge it holds for us.
And you're absolutely right. It's so much more than just, an old building. This deep dive really takes us right into the heart of the Habsburg world, but through a very human lens, I think. We're going to explore this really rich tapestry of history, art, and some deeply personal stories that, well, they genuinely shaped how we understand collecting and maybe even early science. It's a journey that hopefully might challenge some of your ideas about these kinds of historical spaces.
Okay, so let's get into that core human story then, the one that really breathes life into Ambras Castle. Archduke Ferdinand II. He was this art-loving Archduke, right? And he decided to build this magnificent place for his great love, Philippine Welser. Now, considering the era, what do you find most compelling about them? Especially, her non-noble background.
Yeah.
Because their story, it really is brought to life throughout the museum.
Well, it's truly remarkable, isn't it? I mean, if you zoom out a bit, that relationship was incredibly unconventional, within the whole imperial context. And that defiance of protocol, it absolutely shaped the castle's unique character and its entire collection, really. Ferdinand's devotion, it allowed for this very personal touch, a kind of intimacy, even inside this grand imperial residence. It definitely raises a question for us, doesn't it? How deeply can a personal connection influence something so big, so historically significant, as an entire castle and all its treasures?
That's a really powerful thought, yeah. It almost makes the stones themselves feel more alive, just knowing that, love built them in a way. And speaking of grand structures, let's turn to some of the castle's imperial splendor. The Armory, for instance. You walk in and you're just surrounded by these elaborately decorated suits of armor, weapons, tournament gear. It's quite something. They even have this section called the Hero's Armory. It showcases this incredible range of armor and weapons and vividly depicts scenes from knightly life. What's particularly striking, I think, is how the collection spans centuries. It even includes some really rare battlefield items from as late as the 30 Years' War. It shows you the evolution, right?
Exactly. Yeah, this collection isn't just about, military might. It's like a living timeline of warfare and that whole culture of chivalry as it changed over time. You can really see the shift, can't you? From the heavy plate armor of medieval knights to the maybe more functional but still often ornate armor of the 17th century. It really illustrates how important these displays were back then, for projecting power and status in different periods, and the sheer artistry involved too.
Definitely. Then there's something quite different, the unique Ambras starry sky. This isn't just a painted ceiling. It's described as an elaborately painted ceiling full of astronomical symbolism. Apparently, it gives the room this special, almost otherworldly atmosphere. It's considered one of the castle's real artistic treasures. What kind of insights can we draw from something like that?
Well, what's particularly compelling about that interplay of art and science in the Renaissance, especially here, is how deeply they integrated astronomical symbolism into these grand residences. It wasn't just decoration, It reflected this real desire for worldly knowledge, a fascination with the cosmos, an attempt to understand and sort of represent the universe even within your own home. It's a beautiful example, really, of how art was used to express intellectual curiosity back then.
Mm-hmm. And then, you step into the Spanish Hall, and it truly feels like stepping into some magnificent ballroom from another time. Just incredible. And this isn't just any hall, right? It's one of the most important freestanding Renaissance halls north of the Alps. That's quite a claim. It just captivates you with its richly decorated wooden ceiling and these staggering 27 life-size portraits of Tyrolean rulers. What do you think it is about spaces like this? I mean, they still use it today for festive events and concerts. How do they manage to sort of transcend time like that?
That's such a vivid picture you've painted there.
Yeah.
For me, it's that seamless blend, the past living right alongside the present. The sheer ambition of those 27 portraits, for instance, can you imagine commissioning all of those? It really reminds you just how much image and lineage mattered in that era. But beyond just the visual, the fact that they still hold concerts there, well, that's what makes it feel alive, isn't it? It feels less like a dusty museum piece and, I don't know, more like a vibrant, breathing part of history itself.
It absolutely does. Yeah, it makes you feel like you're truly truly a part of that ongoing history. But the real gem, for me anyway, and maybe the biggest aha moment for you, our listener, is the Chamber of Art and Curiosities, the Wunderkammer. It's considered one of the oldest surviving Wunderkammern in Europe, which is amazing in itself. Back in the 16th century, Archduke Ferdinand II meticulously collected objects from, well, everywhere. Science, nature, art, technology. A truly comprehensive approach. It's like the original search engine for the world, kind of. But it's more than just an early library or museum, isn't it? What's the real insight here into how they viewed knowledge through these collections?
Precisely. Yeah, what's truly profound about a Wunderkammer like Ferdinand's is that it wasn't just about what they knew, but also maybe about what they didn't know, or what they wondered about. It deliberately blurred the lines between, say, genuine scientific discovery, mythical creatures, and artistic masterpieces. You know, you'd find a real fossil right next to a supposed unicorn horn, or some intricate clockwork device beside a delicate piece of coral. This reflected a worldview where magic and the empirical kind of coexisted, where the bizarre was just as valuable in a way as the logical. It was like a tangible map of humanity's evolving, and often, let's be honest, chaotic, understanding of the cosmos. It really challenges our modern sort of compartmentalized way of thinking about knowledge. It's truly where the origins of our modern museums lie, I think, but with this wonderfully unconstrained sense of wonder attached.
That's a fascinating way to put it, a tangible map of a chaotic understanding. Wow. It certainly suggests this incredible drive to collect and categorize everything, even if the categories weren't quite what we'd recognize today. And if you're feeling that same pull of curiosity, eager to explore this incredible collection for yourself, you'll be glad to know that planning your own visit is actually incredibly easy. They offer daily guided tours, which apparently really bring the castle's history to life and offer, deeper insights into the collections.
And after your tour, there's the Castle Cafe. It invites you to take a break with warm meals, coffee, homemade cakes. Adds a perfect cozy touch to the whole experience, I think.
Just need to remember the museum is open daily from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. They have a diverse program throughout the year, but with one exception, November. The castle is closed in November.
Right. And getting there is surprisingly straightforward from Innsbruck. For the main train station, you can just hop on bus line 540 or M. If you're starting more from the city center, you can reach it using lines C, 3, or 6. That involves a short, pretty pleasant walk through the park to get to the castle entrance itself.
Okay, so what does this all mean then? Our deep dive into Ambras Castle has shown, I think, how a visit there really beautifully combines history, art, and even nature. It makes for this really compelling, rich experience, and it's a wonderful alternative to just a typical city stroll, especially, like we said at the start, on a day when the weather might otherwise keep you indoors.
Yeah, and building on that idea of the Wunderkammer, that unique approach to knowledge. Maybe think about this. In our age of, let's face it, information overload, where pretty much everything is neatly categorized online, what can we learn from that 16th century drive to collect everything? The known, the unknown, the scientific, the mythical, all into one space. Does their more holistic, maybe even chaotic pursuit of understanding offer us a fresh perspective, a different way to think about how we curate our own knowledge today? What stands out to you about those early efforts?
Some powerful questions to consider there. That's all for this deep dive. Go explore.